Okay, for this problem we're asked to find the area of the region bounded by y equals e to the x, y equals 16 e to the negative x plus 6, and x equals 0. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get an idea of what this actually looks like. So I went ahead and typed these beforehand. To get to your e function, in case you're not familiar, see the ln button above it is a little blue e to the x. Hit second ln and it'll give you your e to the x function. Okay, so I also changed the window on this to 0 to 5 on the x and 0 to 20. We can see it gives a pretty good graph. Okay, so we're looking at this area right in here is what we're looking at. It's bound by x equals 0, which is the y-axis. So this region here. Since it's bound here, and we are going to do top minus bottom, our lower integration is going to be 0. We just need to find this intersection point right here to find our upper bound. Okay, to do that, we're going to set these two functions equal to each other. So we have e to the x equals 16 e to the negative x plus 6. Let's get everything on the same side. So we have e to the x minus 16 e to the negative x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, so how do we go about solving this problem? Well, it's kind of tricky, but the best way to go about this is to multiply everything by e to the x, which gets rid of your negative e to the x term. So just multiply times e to the x times e to the x times e to the x, and of course times e to the x on the 0. Not that it matters, it's still going to be 0. So this one becomes e to the x squared. This one, the e to the x's basically cancel out, and it leaves a negative 16. And minus 6 e to the x equals 0. Let's rewrite the order because we have a descending order here. This is going to be the squared term, the non-squared term, and then the constant term. So e to the x, I am going to leave it as squared because of the way we're going to solve this problem. Minus 6 e to the x minus 16 equals 0. So if it helps, think of e to the x as being, we can make it, let's make it w. Okay, so e to the x equals w. Do a quick little substitution there. So this will be w squared minus 6w minus 16 equals 0. Now, written this way, you may better recognize that this is a quadratic problem that can be factored. Okay, so what are two numbers that multiply to get negative 16, add to get negative 6? So that's going to be negative 8 and positive 2. Okay, multiply to get negative 16, add to get negative 6 equals 0. Okay, plug back in your e to the x, so it's e to the x minus 8 and e to the x plus 2 equals 0. Solve those for 0. E to the x equals 8 and e to the x equals negative 2. Now this one, e to the x, it's an exponential function. It can't be negative, so this one has no solution. This one, we take the ln of both sides. Ln of e to the x equals ln of 8. Ln and e cancel, leaves x equals ln of 8. And that's our upper limit. Okay, so we've got our lower limit of 0 and our upper limit of ln of 8. Okay, so now we're going to set this problem up. We know what our upper one is. Do we know what our upper one is? Well, let's make sure we do. Let's go to the graph. We can turn off one of these graphs to see which is which. So it looks like that is the one that's going down. And let's turn on that one again. That's the one going up. Okay, so the 16e to the negative x plus 6 is the top function, and the e to the x is the bottom function. Okay, so our integral will be 0 to ln of 8 of 16 e to the negative x plus 6 minus the bottom function of e to the x. And that's all dx. We could put some brackets around that. Okay, so how do we solve this? Well, we're going to do it term by term. Okay, so when you take the derivative, or you take the antiderivative of a term that has a e to the x or e to the negative x, it's basically the integral is itself, except in this case the negative will carry down to the front of the problem. So this first term will become negative 16 e to the negative x. This one's easy, it's just 6x. And then the last one, e to the x, is its own derivative and its own antiderivative, so that one is unchanged. And our limits of integration are 0 to ln of 8. Okay, so we can go ahead and pop in these limits real quick. So negative 16 e to the negative ln 8 plus 6 ln 8 minus e to the ln 8. Okay, and then that's the upper part, minus the lower part, negative 16e to the negative 0, it's just 0, plus 6 times 0, that one goes away, minus e to the 0, that one is 1. So you can see this e to the 0 power is 1, so that goes away, that turns into a 1. So this second one is going to reduce pretty quickly. Now the first one's going to be a little bit more interesting to reduce that. Now this e and ln will cancel, leaving an 8. There's an 8 there. So what do I do with this negative ln of 8? Well, we can take the negative and raise it to an exponent. So it would be ln of 8 to the negative 1 power. And then the e and the ln would cancel out. So let's write that down. Negative 16 e to the ln of 8 to the negative 1. Okay. Plus 6 ln 8. And then this is going to be minus 8 for my first parentheses. And then let's clean this one up as well. Minus, and this turns it to a 1. So minus a negative 16. Middle term is gone. Minus 1. Okay, now this will cancel there, and that'll leave 8 to the negative 1 power. So this is equal to negative 16 times 8 to the negative 1 is 1 over 8. Okay, plus 6 ln 8 minus 8. And what is this? Negative 17 with a minus sign in front, so positive 17. Okay, that will give us negative 2 plus 6 ln 8. And let's see, that will be plus 9 equals 7 plus 6 ln 8. So I got crooked there at the end. And that's it.